Hey y'all, this is Wrestling Color Podcast right here on YouTube. I'm Stephanie. This isn't going to be a long one. Just wanted to touch on some things because you know I'm all about that representation. You know I'm all about it. All about it. Make sure you thumbs up this video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. I do a lot of fun stuff on Pinterest, like post pics. I like posting pics on Pinterest. Go follow me over there. So just a real quick thing I want to touch on because I think it's really important that we don't forget what my purpose is here and what I'm learning as I'm getting older. I want to say happy birthday to Oscar too, because Oscar hit the 40 club. I didn't know you was an 80s baby. Oscar is 40 years old. I love to see it. Yes, I do. So, happy birthday to her. Happy birthday to everyone who's hitting the 40-year-old club. 80s babies, we's getting old. So, with that being said, let me get into this. So, I went to Extreme Rules last night, and we had a ball. My baby done yelled till he done hurt his little ribs and his neck hurt. But he got his entire life, and that was the whole point. And there was all these little kids around me just screaming their little heads off. And there was this little boy in front of me was so tiny, but he was not playing. When Bobby Lashley came out, he was standing up with his belt. He just knew Bobby Lashley was the bee's knees. He was not playing. Bianca Belair came out. These little kids went crazy for Bianca Belair. Okay? The New Day, forget it. If y'all think they could ever break up the New Day, it ain't happening. It ain't ever gonna happen. The New Day is here to stay. Them little kids go up for the New Day. They go up for the New Day. Let me tell you something. It was some good wrestling. If anything, it was some good wrestling going on. I know everyone's upset about Finn Balor. We didn't see what went on either. All we saw was a whole bunch of smoke. The lights turned red. But in a loud arena with all that noise, it was exciting. Let me tell you something. We had some damn good ass seats. And ladies, I know most of the men listen to this podcast, but let me tell y'all something, ladies. If you happen to drive by and hear this, Roman Reigns is an anomaly. That man looks just like that in real life. I every time I'm floored. All of these people are good looking, healthy ass people. And I have to say that because the people are the adults out here in Ohio, they have a smoking problem and a drinking problem. It's very apparent. Everyone looks like they are crawling out of a fucking from under a fucking house. It was absolutely insane. But what I do want to say, black people, black people. This is the most black people I've ever seen at a wrestling show that I've been to. I didn't know black people were this into wrestling. Grown black men had their belts, had their shirts. The moms, the black moms and black dads had their kids. I was sitting in front of a older black lady and a little boy who was going crazy for Bobby Lashley. She couldn't believe how her grandbaby was acting. But let me tell you something. When Roman Reigns came out, child, me and her was like, listen, let me tell you something. I got the howling. She was like, I'm finna throw my drawers. I said, ma'am, listen, we was look. Or I think why y'all hate Roman Reigns is because it's little kids and women screaming. That's it. Finn Balor showed his ass. Them kids went crazy. Adults went crazy. But it was so many black folks in that audience. And so many little black kids saw so much representation, and I have to give it to WWE. I don't know if they you know what? No, they're listening. AEW not so much. I'm not really understanding why Big Swole is always on AEW Dark. I'm not really understanding why Sonny Kiss isn't on TV like he needs to be. I did watch the match between Hobbs and CM Punk. I mean, it was a good match, but I see that AEW has a very, very specific audience. So specific that someone had to point out that y'all don't bathe. Y'all out there smelling like leather pants and armor all and dog shit. I saw that tweet. Somebody said it was so fucking funky up in that pay-per-view, they had to go outside and get some air. They said the funk was on 1,000. I can honestly say the most I smelled was cigarettes and beer, which, by the way, I don't think liquor should be sold at these particular shows. But these folks was drinking all this beer and went right to their car and drove home. But I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to point out the representation. The representation was fabulous. Black wrestling draws. The black wrestlers were literally it. They were bringing you. The Street Profits came out, loved it. The Usos represent for the Polynesians, represent for the Pacific Islanders, loved it. People of color and black people were very present on this wrestling show, and WWE has been very aware of this. And I also think NXT in the direction that it's going in, I think Tony Khan is not Tony Khan. Is that his name? Whatever, Khan. I think he is picking up on the pulse of the hip hop and the youth because hip hop is young and fresh. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. It's young and fresh. This is what the youth loves. And that is the direction they're geared towards. It was hip hop playing all through WWE. That's the direction they're going in. The representation was fucking fabulous. And I just want to take the time out to say that. We are there. We are watching. We want to see it. We want to see an image of ourselves. If Becky Lynch can represent for the Lasses and the Irish, and Drew McIntyre is in his kilt, and Finn Balor is in his is he Scottish, and we got Sheamus making fun of Matt Hardy with his pale ass Irish brawler, then we need that representation for black people and people of color. And I have to say, this was on display tonight. Yes, y'all say it's a C-list pay-per-view and it's a throwaway and it's bullshit, wah, wah, wah. But people can't pay to get a show. And if WWE didn't do anything else, I went to Raw in 2018. It was cute. Pay-per-views, if you're going to go to a wrestling show, pay the money to go to a pay-per-view. It's like a Las Vegas show. The production, perfect. I got to see it. I didn't have to deal with them fucking angles and shit. But we got to see it. It was loud. It was colorful. It was all kinds of explosions and shit. It was all types of stuff going on. Excellent. Excellent. I will say it's a bunch of bullshit that a fucking bottle of soda was $5. Y'all gonna have to stop price gouging at the goddamn arenas, okay? We tried to bring water in and we couldn't get the water in, and I ended up having to spend fucking $30 for four products. But you know what? It's a good time. We had a good time. I just wanted to just point out representation there. Black folks is there. The black folks was in the audience. We love it. We love to see it. We had a good time and we want more representation. And I want black podcasters, black commentaries, ladies, gentlemen, whoever, keep saying representation matters because if anybody's listening, it's WWE. They're listening because I saw it. And it's a draw, and that's what was in that audience. It was a large black population in that audience, and it was good to see. It was good to see. That's all I want to say, y'all. I thought Extreme Rules was cool, maybe because it was live and we was seeing it live and in person had the good ass seats. But it is what it is. Finn Balor at the end, I just want to say before I go, He was walking out after they said, thank you guys for coming out. Make sure you drive home safely. And he was walking out, and then he did like a bat. He turned around and he looked at the audience, and we went ahead and gave him his flowers and celebrated Finn. And then he walked off. I hope that wasn't one of those, let me turn around and take it in one last time. Because somebody's going to have to explain what happened to them ropes. We, in the audience, we couldn't tell y'all what happened to the ropes. We was just as blinded as y'all was on TV. So somebody gonna have to explain that. But the match itself was absolutely good. The wrestling on the show was excellent. Outside of Alexa Bliss, who, by the way, I don't know who's that. That I told you that's that Lolita syndrome shit. It was grown men going crazy because she had that foam and shit in her mouth, and they were making very nasty comments. Okay, the little boys in the audience was didn't they was like, what the fuck is going on here? We want wrestling. We want to see some blood. They, them little kids was real bloodlusting. They want to see people get kicked in the head. The Roman Reigns spot where he got hit in the balls, they thought that was hilarious. It was a lot of little kids around us. That Alexa Bliss shit, I don't know who that's for. I didn't hear no kids going up for that. But I saw grown men like busting balls because the foam was coming out her mouth and they was equating that with nuts. So I honestly think that should end. Just bring the fucking what was her? Just bring the regular Alexa Bliss back and let's just keep it pushing. Because I think if that's it's too much now. It's too much. All right. If y'all want to tell me what y'all think about the pay per view, you can do that. That's cool. If not, keep keep in tune. I got some things coming up before I get real deep and heavy in my classwork. This is Wrestling Color Podcast. I appreciate y'all. Later.